can't come to the phone right now. I'm listening to Party Talk Podcast.
Welcome to the Party Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Cooper Keimig, here with Chris Keimig. NFL fantasy season is over, but, it's the best time of year. We got real NFL playoffs. That's what we're going to be talking about today in today's episode. Chris, did you have any Week 18 fantasy playoffs or no? Or did you finish all in Week 17?
I think I was done week 10. I had nothing. I've been cleaning the house and shoveling snow.
Yeah. I luckily didn't have any Week 18 playoffs, but
I used to do week 18, but I would do it 2 weeks in a row. That way the better team would usually win. I hate those 1 week playoffs where the 7 seed beats the 2 seed or something crazy like that. I like to be 2 weeks at a time, but no, the one we had 14 teams in it, so we just did 1 week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I luckily didn't have any Week 18 ones, so pretty happy. All right, today's episode is going to be our fantasy, or not our fantasy, our regular playoff predictions. We're going to be going through the AFC and NFC, picking our division winners, our wild card winners, our Super Bowl winner. So let's start off in the AFC. We'll start off with the wild card games that are going to go on Saturday and Sunday. Let's start off with our prediction for the Browns versus the Texans. Currently, right now the Browns are favored. The spread is -2.5 for the Browns. You got +2.5 for the Texans. Who you got, Chris? What are you thinking?
Did they just play a couple weeks ago? And
So.
the Browns trounced over the Texans, but I heard a quote today that the Texans were missing all kinds of players on defense. That's why Flacco and Cooper went off. But I'm still going to go with the Browns with a road win. I just like how hot Flacco and Njoku and Cooper are doing right now. So I got the Brownies for the win and they covered the spread.
Yeah, these are two good teams. They both deserve to be in the playoffs. I think I'm gonna take the Texans here. Only if Denzel Ward doesn't play, I'll like this pick a little bit more. If the Browns are with Denzel Ward, I think it'll be a good game, but I'm gonna go with the Texans in this wild card matchup.
Was there a warning to this game yet? No, let all the ladies know at the massage parlor that Deshaun's coming back to town.
They should probably send out an Amber Alert for that one.
Yeah, Amber Alert. That's a good one.
All right, let's take a look at the Dolphins versus Chiefs game. If I saw this correctly, it's going to be one of the coldest games in NFL history. I think the wind chill's -30 for this game with the snow. We're getting a lot of it right now here in the QC. But yeah, it's projected to be freezing cold. I don't even know how that game's still going to be played in Kansas City. So right now the Dolphins, actually the Chiefs are favored. The spread is -4.5 for the Chiefs, +4.5 for the Dolphins. Who you got, Chris?
Well, with that wind blowing, that might help Mahomes passing this year. So, but I think it's going to be a run game because I don't see him passing much at all. Maybe some dinks to Kelsey or some dinks to the running backs. But I'm going with the Dolphin run game. I think with the healthy Mozart and A-Chain, I just think the Dolphins are going to surprise them and beat them. I got Dolphins to cover too.
Yeah, I think as much as I love the Dolphins and how bad the Chiefs have been this season, I'm going to take the Chiefs. If you just look historically, the Dolphins, if you want to compare it to the Chiefs Stadium this weekend, the Dolphins have played really bad at the Bills Stadium in the cold weather. It's going to be kind of the same environment. Chiefs fans are top tier. They make some of the most noise in the NFL. Plus, it's going to be -30. So I'm going to take the Chiefs. They had a week. Most of their starters had a week off to get some rest, kind of recoup, and I think the Chiefs will end up winning this one.
They got tickets available, $56 a piece.
Really? Yeah, I'm not sitting out in the 35-degree wind chill. I'll watch at home. And then the last wild card matchup in the AFC is going to be Steelers versus the Bills. The Bills are favored. The spread is -10 for the Bills, +10 for the Steelers. Pretty easy pick for me here. I'm going to take the Bills. I really don't know how the Steelers are in the playoffs. I think there's many other teams who should have made it over them. The Steelers aren't a terrible team, but I just don't see how they compete with the Bills. I can see them covering the spread, though. The Bills they usually play down to their opponents, but most of the time they end up with the win anyway. So I'm going to take the Bills here. Who you got, Chris?
They're the AFC version of the Vikings. They just get in the playoffs and say bye-bye. But I got the Bills to stomp all over the Steelers, but I, too, am going to take the Steelers to cover. I don't think it's going to be much of a game. They might come back at the end to cover, but I'm going to the Steelers with a womp.
Yep. All right, let's move to the NFC wildcard matchups. First up, we got the Packers at the Dallas Cowboys. This is one of my, more favorite matchups that we have this wildcard weekend. Dallas is favored. The spread is -7.5 for Dallas. Who you got, Chris, in this matchup?
I got remember McCarthy used to coach the Packers, so here's a revenge game for him. I got CD Lamb going for over 150 yards and a touchdown for the win, but I got the Packers covering.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on the Packers covering. I think, just watching the Packers offense grow this season, they've looked really good. Jordan Love has looked amazing. He's not just focusing on like one target. He's passing the ball around to everybody, which is a pretty good trait for a young quarterback to have. This Packers defense is very bad though, so I'm going to take Dallas to win, but I do think the Packers will cover the spread. All right, one of the better storylines in this playoffs, we got the Rams at the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford played most of his career in Detroit, and he's back against them in the playoffs. So Detroit is favored only by 3 points. Who you got, Chris?
Did you hear that headline? They don't want anybody to wear Stafford Lion jerseys.
I did.
But I got the Rams with the win. I got a Cooper Kupp with a touchdown in the corner for a game winner, and I have the Rams to cover.
Yeah, this is a close one here. I think I'm gonna go with the Rams too. I'll take the upset win. Matthew Stafford. I think he has his best game of the year, best game of his career even. Hopefully, I took him in DraftKings. We'll see later on, but yeah, I'll take the Rams to win this wild card game. And then the last matchup in the wild card round is Eagles at the Buccaneers. You might be asking, how are the Eagles not a home team? Well, you know how the NFL playoffs work, and I think this should change. The Buccaneers did win their division, so they get the home game, even though they have a worse record than the Eagles. So the Bucs do get that home game. The Eagles are favored on the road. The spread is -3 for the Eagles. Who you got, Chris?
I got the Eagles with a 1-point win in a very low scoring game. The Eagles are playing. I mean, the Eagles have twice the players on that team. They're so much better than the Buccaneers, but God, they're just playing terrible. Their defense is terrible. Hurts is hurt. I just don't know what to expect out of them. So I'm going with the Eagles with a 1-point win, but I got the Bucs to cover.
Yeah, I think the whole Eagles offense is hurt. I saw everybody leave the field watching that game last week. I'm just looking up the over/under total for this game. They got 43.5. I think I'd take the under. I could see, honestly, I could see there being one total touchdown in this game by the Eagles, a little tush push, and that's it. And then the Buccaneers kicking 2 field goals to hit that 1-point win for the Eagles. So I'll take the Eagles to win here. But I think it's going to be a stinker of a game. But yeah, I'll take the Eagles. All right, let's move into the AFC divisional round. So this round, it's going to be the winner of the Texans and Browns game. They will play the Ravens. So who was your winner of the Texans and Browns, Chris?
I got the Ravens beating the Browns in a close one. It's going to be these are two good teams. The Browns are been hot, but the Ravens just have too much power, I think, right now.
Yeah. Um, so I had the Texans to win that last round against the Browns. So my matchup is the Texans versus the Ravens. Um, I think the Ravens win this one. They look like probably the best team in the league right now. You got the MVP favorite, kind of locked it away. I think the Ravens beat the Texans. All right, let's move to the next divisional game. So this game would be the winner of the Chiefs and Dolphins. They would play the winner of the Steelers and Bills. So kind of looking at that, my winner of the Chiefs and Dolphins game was the Chiefs, and then my winner of the Steelers and Bills game was the Bills. So we got a Chiefs-Bills rematch here, kind of the last couple seasons in the playoffs. I'm going to take the Bills. I think, they're getting their revenge. They want it. They want it more. They've been on a run lately. They started this season pretty bad, but yeah, I'm going to take the Bills over the Chiefs in this division round. What do you got, Chris?
I got the Bills playing the Dolphins. So I'm going to go with a 2-point conversion on a Allen touchdown run for a Bills win.
Oh. All righty. And then
hopefully 5 feet of snow too.
and then just kind of looking after that, the next game would be the winner of those two matchups. So we would have the Bills and the Ravens. This is going to be a good game here. I think I'd take the Bills over the Ravens. I think the Bills are going to the Super Bowl in the AFC side of things. They're still winning games despite Stephon Diggs. He's not really showing up. Josh Allen's spreading the ball around. He's running good. He is turning the ball over a lot, but surprisingly, with how injured the Bills' defense is, they're still top 3 in the league. Ravens' defense is very good as well, but I'm going to take the Bills over the Ravens, and let's send the Bills to the Super Bowl. Who you got, Chris?
Well, Diggs is the only healthy wide receiver, I think, so they're going to have to throw to him. I got the Ravens against the Bills also, but did you forget who the Bills quarterback is? Mr. T.O., Mr. Turnover. I got the Ravens winning on 3 Josh Allen turnovers. Fumbles, interceptions, whatever you want to call it. That's what he's going to do. So, I'm probably going to root for the Bills, but no, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, so you had the Ravens winning?
I got the Ravens, yeah.
So I think I just saw that the Ravens designated Mark Andrews to return from IR.
Yep.
I don't know if he's going to play this week, but he should be ramping up practice, and that's a crazy welcome back. You got Mark Andrews on one side. If they run a 2 tight end set, they got Isaiah Likely on the other. It's going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs. But alrighty, let's take a look at the NFC divisional round. So these matchups, it would be the winner of the Bucks and Eagles game. They would play the 49ers. So I had the Eagles winning. So they'll play the 49ers. Another rematch from last year's playoff game. I'm going to take the 49ers. Like I said when we previewed Eagles 49ers a couple weeks ago over the fantasy podcast, the 49ers, I think they would have won last playoff time if they didn't lose all 3 quarterbacks that they had. They had Christian McCaffrey playing quarterback. Tough scene to watch, but yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers over the Eagles. Who you got, Chris?
I got the 49ers and a cakewalk over the Eagles. I see Purdy going for over 300 and 3 touchdowns. Unless Chris McCaffrey goes crazy and runs 3 more in there. But I don't see the Eagles keeping up with the 49ers.
Yep. And then the next divisional matchup we're going to have would be the winner of the Packers and Dallas game. We both had Dallas. And this winner would play the winner of the Rams and Lions. So for my matchup, I got Dallas versus the Rams. This will be another good game. Did they play this year already? I can't remember. I think that was when Matthew Stafford got hurt, and then they started.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what I remember. But yeah. So I'm gonna take Dallas. I think Dallas beats the Rams in a good game. I think Dallas makes it pretty far this year in the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to be my Super Bowl favorite, but I do think they win this round against the Rams. And then the winner of the would be the Eagles and 49ers for us would play the winner of Dallas and the Rams. So my two winners here are the 49ers and Dallas. This is going to be another good rematch. They played earlier this year. I think 49ers win it in another close game. 49ers have looked like one of the better teams in NFL. They usually do. So, yeah, I got the 49ers coming up top on the NFC. Who you got, Chris?
I got the Rams staying hot, but I think they're going to upset the Cowboys. The Cowboys always have a way to lose things. So this is be McCarthy's last game. They're going to fire him. And how they're going to lose, Autry, is that his name? God, he's my rookie of the year. He's going to miss a 40-yard field goal as time expires. Ever since I gave him the rookie of the year, he hadn't missed one until I gave him that. So now he missed a couple. So I gave him the jinx. So he's going to miss a field goal to lose it. And then I got the 49ers with the win. The Rams can't keep up with them. So
yeah, I just want to touch on what you said earlier about Brandon Aubrey. When you made him your rookie fantasy player of the year, he didn't just miss his first field goal there. He also got blocked. So he had 2 quote unquote misses that game. So pretty heavy jinx by you. All right. It's Super Bowl time. What is your Super Bowl matchup, Chris?
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be awesome. I got the 49ers. I just think they're too strong. The Ravens are good. I just don't see them having player-per-player matchups. So I got 31-24 over the Ravens. 49ers to win.
Wow. Yeah, that'll be a good game right there. So my Super Bowl matchup, my prediction is the 49ers versus the Buffalo Bills. This is going to be my game of the year. Two of the better teams in the NFL matching up. I think the Buffalo Bills will win the Super Bowl. Look, I'm a big Bills fan. If I wasn't a Vikings fan, Bills would be next. Josh Allen has been my favorite ever since he hurdled us about 4 years ago. I remember that game. I think it was Eric Kendricks he hurdled. Been a big fan since. I think it's the Bills' year. They deserve it. Josh Allen, Mr. Turnover, if you want to call him. He's got 40 plus touchdowns this year. He's played really good, minus the turnovers. But I think the Bills come out on top, and they win the Super Bowl. Those are some pretty decent predictions. I think I'm going to put a little parlay on the first wild card round of just who I think is going to win. But, after our predictions, we got a couple FanDuel or DraftKings lineups. And then do you want to talk about what you got going on, Chris?
Yeah, I'm in fantasy football playoff, and there's a couple different ways to do it. There's one where you can pick 14 players and only one player per team. And I think that I like that a lot better. It just gives you a lot more to think about. Or you could just pick whoever you want. and kind of go from that. So I'm going to enter both of my playoffs teams. So let's talk about the quarterbacks. So you only get to pick one player from one team. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with a team I think is going to make it to the finals. So I'm going to go with Lamar and Josh Allen. I'm going two AFC teams. I mean, I could have gone with Purdy, but like you said, I like Josh Allen. I just think he can score a lot of points. He's like boom or bust. So I'm going to go with Lamar and Josh Allen. You like anybody else as a quarterback?
Trying to think. Just the way that your specific format is lined up, I wouldn't take Dak because I'd want to pick CeeDee Lamb as one of the wide receivers.
Yep.
Man, that's tough. I don't know if there's any other quarterbacks
I started with Hurts, then I looked at it, I said, crap, I got him losing the first round. And then I thought Allen, because they don't have, Cook's okay, but if they start passing, he's not going to do nothing. And Diggs hasn't done nothing in a long time. So I'm going to go with Allen and Lamar.
Yeah, I like Allen and Lamar. The only other quarterback I might consider would be Jordan Love, but you want a player who's going to make it deep in the playoffs. So if you were to think that Jordan Love and the Packers would make it deeper, then you could pick him. But I like your two picks with Josh
Love is the best player on the Packers.
Yeah.
For running backs, I had to pick one 49er, so I'm going Christian McCaffrey. The Lions, I could have went either way, Montgomery or Gibbs. I went with Gibbs. I could have went the wide receiver, St. Brown. Is that his name? Yep.
Yeah.
But I went with Gibbs instead. So I got CMC. I got Gibbs. I'm going with Tampa Bay's running back. What's his name? Williams?
Rashad White.
Yep. I didn't have any shares of him, so I really didn't follow him. But I know he finished off strong. So he's definitely going to be moving up the draft boards next year. And then Kyron Williams. That's my Williams I picked for the Rams. So I got CMC, Gibbs, Williams, and then the guy for Tampa Bay. Any other running backs out there you like? Or there's Pacheco, there's Gus, but I already took Lamar, so I can't do Gus.
You can't take Gus.
I did at one time have Pacheco, but I crossed him out because I wanted to go with a tight end.
I wouldn't take Swift because, you got more options there with A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. I guess kind of same thing. You could take Aaron Jones if you really wanted to, but
yeah, they're one and done, man.
Yeah, they could be one and done. I like Rashad White. That's a good one because I do think, like we said, it'd be a close game against the Eagles. They could really upset the Eagles. That's
them
how
winning.
I feel. Let's see. Who else do we have? What other teams have you not picked yet?
Well, I got Dallas. They ain't got no running backs. Dolphins. I mean, you could go Dolphins, but I got Hill as my wide receiver.
Yeah.
So that's an option I could switch. I got A.J. Brown as my other wide receiver. So Eagles, I don't want Swift. And they got the Browns.
You could go Pacheco. I mean, unless you wanted Kelsey.
I mean, I had him at first, but then I switched it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn my sheet in tomorrow. So that's why I'm kind of talking you. See if you can talk me into changing my team. So, like I said, wide receivers, I got Collins for the Texans. They have no running backs really. Singletary's done better at the end. But I'm going to go with Collins because he's hot. I got CeeDee Lamb. There's nobody better right now. I got Hill. He's the number one wide receiver did he finish number one for the year?
Tyreek?
Yeah.
Or
did Lamb catch?
In points per game, he did, but not total because he missed a few games.
Okay.
I think.
And then I got A.J. Brown. Mm-hmm. So my wide receivers are pretty top notch. So I right now I'm going to keep those. And then so I'm the last couple players, it's like fantasy. tight ends and kickers and defense. A lot of guys punt on them, so I kind of punted on them. And then I'm going with Njoku. He's the hottest player tight end around right now.
That's a good pick.
I think that's a good pick. And I got Kelsey with that win down in Kansas City. I can see a lot of dink and dunks, and they could play 2, 3, 4 games. So I like that. Those 2 tight ends. So I'm finishing off. I got the Packers kicker, guy whose brother used to be on the Vikings. I can't remember his name. Carlson. I got Carlson for the Packers as my kicker, and then I got Pittsburgh defense. Okay. So you kind of like it, except for maybe Pacheco.
Yeah, it just depends on if you think Kelsey's going to have a good playoffs. I think he's probably one of the top receiving playoff total players. I think
it's his first playoff with Taylor Swift in the crowd, so he's going to go crazy. They're already working on some dance probably right now. He's going to grab the mic and start singing something. So, but I kind of like my team. I'm going to give it the night to ponder and kind of go from there. But then my other league, we'll go through it quick. I got Lamar, Purdy, CMC. I got Cook, Pacheco, and Gus Williams as my running backs. Wide receivers, Lamb, Debo, Ayuk, Flowers. And then tight ends is Kittle and Likely. I could put Andrews in there, but I think Likely, he's got a name for himself now. And then I got Tucker as my kicker and the Ravens as my defense. So the Ravens go all the way. I should be pretty good in that one.
Yeah. I like those lineups. Just a couple choices on. You really got to base on who you think's gonna make it farther, and I think you did a pretty good job there.
Yeah.
So I did a FanDuel full weekend lineup Saturday through Monday because there is a Monday game as well. I just did a normal NFL contest. You pick I don't know how many players it is. Anyways, so at quarterback. I took one of the cheaper quarterbacks available with Matthew Stafford. I like that revenge game narrative against Detroit. Detroit's been pretty bad against quarterbacks. I mean, they gave up 400 passing yards to Nick Mullins a couple times this year. So I'll take Matthew Stafford against them. For running backs, I went a little bit cheaper here. I went James Cook. He was 1,600. He's got a good matchup against Pittsburgh, so I like that one. Even cheaper running back, I got Devin Singletary for 5,700. Cleveland's been pretty good against running backs, but I kind of wanted to go on the cheaper side, so I took Singletary. I went pretty heavy here with CeeDee Lamb, $9,000 player. I think he's one of the more expensive ones. A sleeper one I like is Jaden Reed. He was only 5,700. He's one of my favorite picks that I had. And then I went super cheap here, but a player who could score a touchdown, Demarcus Robinson of the Rams.
He's on fire.
Yeah, he scored, with Matthew Stafford playing, I think he had like 5 touchdowns in a row. So, yeah, that's a good player for 3,600. You kind of touched on it. I got David Njoku for 5,600. He's got a great matchup against Houston. He was on fire the last time they played, so I like that one. I kind of took a touchdown or bust player with Brandon Cooks. The Green Bay defense hasn't been great. They're getting a little better, but he was only 4,900. So that's the team I'm rocking with. I like it. I like some of the narratives in here, and I think it'll be pretty good.
Yep. I like him. I like them all. Singletary is the only one kind of worried about, but he's kind of like a filler.
Yeah. All righty. That'll do it for the Party Talk podcast. Catch you guys next time.
See you, boys.